Thursday night in Indianapolis was all Indiana fever. I'm Scott Agness of FieldhouseFiles.com here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Coming off a big Commissioner's Cup win Tuesday, Fever emphasized coming into this one how important it was to keep moving forward, to keep the train on going, to not have a hangover in maybe more ways than one, and they did not. It was a dominant display, bigger than I can ever remember here in recent memory with the Fever, especially when the star player was out. They never trailed. They got up as many as 27 points in this one. They kept their pedal down, which is important given what we've seen this season, en route to an 81-54 win. Complete dominance. They pummeled this Las Vegas Aces team. It was a 27-point win, and it wasn't even close after the first quarter. Once again, the Fever owned that second quarter in a big way. They outscored the Aces 25-10, which allowed them to go into halftime on top by 22. Mind you, by the way, at that point, the Aces, they had only 24 points, trailed by 22, and of those 24 points, A'ja Wilson, the MVP, had 17 of them. Ultimately, Wilson was the only player that had it going on this night for the Aces, and I think she was a little bit concerned with her right shoulder area. The athletic trainer was working on it multiple times, but especially at the end of the first quarter as she started the second frame on the bench. She was the really only player that had it going, one of three players for the Aces who scored at halftime. Jewell Loyd, nothing at half. Chelsea Gray, nothing at half. In the game, they combined for 4 points in 52 minutes. And so for the Fever, this was substantial. It was an Aces team that has been dominant. They have several Olympians on the roster. They have an MVP on the roster, one of the best coaches in the league. And historically, they have not fared well against this Aces team. Tonight, it was the Fever's first win over Las Vegas in 17 tries. You have to go all the way back to August 2019. A player who has been there since then is Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, I was reminded of the team. I was like, it's been since 2000-something since I've been here. But I mean, on the bright side is that organizations go through certain things. There's lulls in every part of life, and I think for us in the Fever, it was our time, and I think we kind of deserved it based on our preparation and everything that we had been through prior to this game. And I think you guys got to see what it looked like for us to stay resilient throughout the course of 48 hours. We just played, in Minnesota, and we got to prepare for this. And you guys have to see what it's like for us to be resilient.
Again, I don't think you can talk enough about the way in which this team responded to what was difficult circumstances. They didn't get home till late Wednesday morning. I think it was like 3 a.m. It was after they had all been celebrating, a big locker room celebration, as I've covered here on FieldhouseFiles.com and my YouTube channel as well. They were richer, about $43,000 richer in each of the players' pockets after that win as well, but they did. They battled, they fought, and they kept moving forward, as was preached to them before the game.
We just made sure that our energy was high, made sure that we were focused, because obviously we know Vegas is a great team and their team full of winners. And so for us, it's make sure that we turn the page off of a great Commissioner's Cup success, and then we have to be ready for Vegas, and we were.
It's important for our growth process. Like, that game was great. The Commissioner's Cup, we won a trophy, they won some money, but it doesn't mean anything in the whole scheme of where we want to be. And we've got to take care of business. And so we want to be able to enjoy these moments when they happen and then quickly refocus and reframe. And this is for being, the core group being very young, the veterans on our team are mature. They've been through this. They get it. And you hear Tosh and you hear Sid and you hear Soph in the locker room, communicating that and helping them understand and making sure that when we come out to practice every day, that we're locked in and ready to go and our energy is there. And so I think because we have that great balance, it does allow us to have the fun and enjoy, but also reframe and lock in.
What is also important about it is the fact they're doing it without Caitlin Clark, the top vote getter for the All-Star game. And how ironic is it, too, by the way, that she didn't play and they still won the Commissioner's Cup. They did it in Minneapolis, which is coached by Cheryl Reeve, the Lynx are, and now we know for certain that Caitlin Clark's All-Star team, which she and Nafisa Collier will draft coming up on July 8th, Clark's team will be coached by Cheryl Reeve. Sandy Bardello of New York will coach Collier's team, by the way. But still, as well as the Fever are playing here as of late, you still want to see Caitlin Clark back as soon as possible. But with the understanding of her injury, you want her to get it right But I know Fever fans are eager to see Clark back out on the floor here again soon. She missed her 9th game this season, her 4th in a row, a player that did not miss time in college and did not miss any of 40 games during her rookie season. In the meantime, it's by committee, and I think they're starting to figure a lot of different things out. Everyone's playing in their role. I think this should allow Caitlin to play more off the ball when she does come back. It doesn't mean she doesn't need to be that dominant player again or be the key point guard, but I think she's seen certain things from the bench that should help her, and the players are experiencing other things without her on the floor. Now, don't get me wrong, when she's out there, her point total, her assist numbers, the gravity in which she brings to the offensive end is substantial, but what everybody else is doing right now can't be discussed enough. It is significant, and they're making great progress. But more than anything, it's come on the defensive end, and it's something that defensive coordinator Breon January has been emphasizing. Stephanie White loves the defensive end and has been pushing for that, and it's been a message she's had since day one, and they're only just now starting to realize it, to see the fruits of their labor pay off. And a lot of times it's the offense that is paying dividends from the defensive end. That's what's leading to their success at that end of the floor. They're doing it both ends, and that's what it takes for successful teams. The Fever held the Aces to 26% shooting, 3 of 16 from three-point land. They forced 19 turnovers. I think Lexi Hall was diving all over the floor. I think she absorbed 3 different charges as well. But so many players stepping up when called upon. And get this, a key number I think you can note is 20 points or less in a quarter. The Fever did it 7 straight times and now 8 of the last 9 quarters. Defense, it's on the way up.
Defensively, we just want to be as sound as we need to be to get whatever we want offensively. I think our coaches has made that clear that whenever we can defend and do what we need to do, we can get whatever we want to do then.
It makes you feel good. I mean, it's been a focus all season long, but to finally start to see it come together is rewarding. And I think our players feeling that sense of the reward that comes with buying into being relentless on the defensive end of the floor, the activity level that it takes, trusting that you can go all out while you're out there, and trusting those guys that are coming in off the bench to continue that momentum. It's just it's rewarding to be able to put back-to-back games together. I didn't feel like the third quarter was our best, especially the start of it, but to put back-to-back games together like this defensively says a lot about this group, and I'm just proud of them.
It sounds like cliche, man, but I swear, when we are able to be who we need to be offensively, it's because our defense is fueled by it. Getting deflections isn't going to play in transition. You get to see the best version of players and pros once we get the defensive stops that we need. I think for me, it's just about staying confident and utilizing my teammates to stay in rhythm based on where I need to be. But I think defensively is just where you get to guys see us at our best offensively.
And everybody's just really connected on that end of the floor, and that's what it takes. There are going to be days where we don't shoot it particularly well. There are going to be days where sometimes offensively you don't have it, but there cannot be days where we don't have it defensively, and this group's starting to really see that.
Now, Kelsey Mitchell led the Fever with 25 points. It was her 8th game this season with at least 20. Aliyah Boston added 20 points, her 6th 20-point game this season, as those two starred and did exactly what they needed to do and had great success. It was a tough night for the officiating. It led to several funny moments. First of all, how about being just halfway into the game and the coaches were 3 for 3 combined in successful challenges. Then later in the game, up by a boatload at this point, Stephanie White decided to make a point. She wanted to earn a technical, so she unloaded at a time where she felt it was possible. And Caitlin Clark and the rest of the team loved it, as Stephanie White drew the technical foul, high-fived Caitlin Clark in celebration, and here's how she described it.
Yeah, well, I don't know about frustrations boiling over as more to just making a point. Caitlin said she got me though, so.
One more than that.
She just got a bonus.
Now, there's still no off day for this Indiana Fever team. They will practice tomorrow on July 4th, the holiday, then host the LA Sparks for yet another game. It's game 2 of a 5-game homestand. They're looking for their 4th win in a row. They are now above 500. That was a benchmark that they struggled to surpass. Well, now they're above it at 9-8 this season. Again, to reiterate, that Minnesota Cup final game does not count statistically, does not count against their records. Individual stats do not matter either. It's just a win and more money in the players' pockets. But the team's now 9-8, above that 500 mark, and they intend to stay above it. Reporting from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, I'm Scott Agness of FieldhouseFiles.com.